Hello Tea Quilters, welcome back after being off for like 3 weeks. And I just wanted to welcome everybody back. Today is Saturday, February 3rd, 2024. And we're here with live, normally sew and chat, but today is just going to be a chat. We've got a lot of topics we've got to go over. And I didn't want to save it for Wednesday because it would probably go longer than an hour. So welcome everyone. Let's see. Let me unplug you guys so I can pull you up. Let's see. So we had Janet McCarroll in here. So glad you're back. And you had a safe return. You were missed. So thank you, thank you. Maddie Barnum, hello T, I'm glad to see you. Phyllis G, welcome back T. Hi everyone. Maddie Barnum, hello T, I'm glad to see you. I said that one already, didn't I? Cynthia Washington, missed you. Hope you had a wonderful trip. Janice Miller, can't wait. You have been missed. Just hope you had an awesome time. Joanne Parker, welcome back T. We definitely missed you. Sandra Oldham, saying hi T and Quilters. Hope you enjoyed your trip. Sheila Willis, hi T and Quilters. Glad you're back. Miss you. Vivian Calvey, hi T and everyone. Leighton says welcome back. Francis Jackson says welcome back. I know you had a good time. Dolores Felt says hello T and all Quilters. Glad to have you back, Miss T. You were definitely missed. And Judy Hebert says hi from Georgia. Diane McCoy, hello T and all Quilters. Quilt Gal, hi Miss T and everyone. Thumbs up done. Thank you so much. And so with Judy saying she's thumbed up. Emily Zahut says hi T and all Quilters. Glad to see you back. Hope you had a good time. Sue GSD, if you ever doubt that we missed you, we certainly did. Have to get rid of that heart. So I'm gonna have to go out of this and go back into live chat because for some reason it never gives it to me the first time I go in. D. Branson says, aloha T, good to see you were missed. Kathy Klein saying hello from Central Illinois. Katie Kraft saying hi T and all. Diane McCoy says welcome back. Irish Cell Lady says hi T and everyone. So glad to see you back. Nikki B, welcome home Miss T. Hello all. Rose Hinton, hey T Quilters. I am so glad to be back with you all. Annette J saying hello T Quilters. Melinda C says hello T. Glad to see you. Hope you had a good time. Kevin the Quilter, that's my friend. Hey friend. Evening Miss T and all T Quilters. Net is here saying hello T and everybody. Welcome Net to the channel. I don't remember reading your name before, and if I missed anybody that's commented and you hadn't been on my channel before, welcome to the live chat. I know some people have followed my channel and it takes a little bit to figure out how to chat in the chat box and not in the comment section. Cynthia Maria Field says hi T, did you have a great time? Give a thumbs up, reminding people to hit the thumbs up button. So thank you, thank you. Bees Val says miss you, Valley from Chicago. Hi Valley. Rose Hinton, you have been missed. Sue says hello one and all. 143 days until the hostess with the mostest opens the door to the best retreat ever. Now I might be starting to get stressed. I tend to work on like one thing at a time. And my thing was trying to get myself situated for my Hawaiian cruise. Next thing up is my mom's 85th birthday party, which I'm hosting with help from some of my family members. So it went from a one-day event because I thought it was just going to be local people to a full weekend event. So we have event Friday night and Saturday night because we got people coming from out of town. So it's kind of like a family reunion now. So that's what we're currently working on. Kathy Klein says, heart your shirt. Thank you, thank you. You all can order this. I just don't have it on my website. If you're interested in getting this shirt, I don't even know what the price of it is. I have to look it up and see what the current supply cost is. But it says, don't worry, be scrappy, and it has scissors. And this is a color HTV, a print HTV, and then this is, on this one, I put glitter on mine, but it's really just white HTV on your shirt unless you want the upcharge for glitter. So that's what this shirt is. My brother is here saying, hi sis and everyone, she's back. Helena Carter says, hi to you and all quilters. Hope you had a blast. I'm recovering from stomach surgery, so I hope you feel better really soon. Jason Lewis saying, welcome back, Miss T. Good evening to you and all T quilters. Lou Alford says, hi T. From Lou, glad to see you back from Georgia. Yes, thank you, thank you. Joe Carmel Perkins, yay, it's Miss T. So happy you're back. Welcome, Joe Carmel. Talk about you in a minute. Sue says, hit that bell and show T the love. Yes, thank you so much. And if you don't know, if you're new here, I do have a Facebook channel as well where you can also share your projects. Teaquilts LLC is the name of that group. Miss Topaz, Lori saying, hey, 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 good to see you. The hearts in the way. And I think she says team. Sandy Agger is here saying, welcome home, Miss T. So thank you, thank you. And now I think I can put this down. I think we're caught up with comments. So, Hawaiian cruise. I scheduled this cruise a year ago. And I actually went on this cruise with a company called Quilt B at Sea. And I do plan to like try some other quilt companies in the future to see how their system works as well. They do allow you to pay all at once, or you can pay a deposit to sign up. And then within 9 months, they give you like the option of making 2 additional payments. But I found that you can make any number of payments that you want during that period of time. They just have 2 deadline dates where this amount needs to be paid. And then the second deadline date is all of your money needs to be paid. So that's the planning. So if you're planning on going on a quilt cruise, most times you're going to have it paid within a year for sure. Or, well, paid 9 months to a year, just say that. You could go over a little bit, it could be under, just depends on when you find out about it. But they're kind of sticklers for that, because that company has to, you're kind of signed up through the cruise through that company, and so that's kind of how it works. I think for us, we didn't get a discount as a group because it was organized by somebody else. And we then had to pay, in addition to that, $500 additional if we were attending quilt classes. So I just want to give you all the details on that part. So if you start looking at cruises, just know that if you sing a cruise price for a regular person attending a cruise, and then you see the price for a quilter attending a cruise, they've got to pay the instructors. So that's what you need to know. T. Roberts is here saying, welcome back. Hey, T. Patricia Priest is here. Howdy, glad to see you. CJ Creations, so happy you're back, T. Hope you enjoyed the trip. Deborah Quilts is here saying hello. And I think they're talking to everybody else. So that's just organizing how this came about. I also went with 2 people in my small group. You know, we have the group called So Busy Quilt Guild. So I also went with 2 other ladies. So actually it was 3 people in a room. And I will advise that 3 people in a room is too much. You have 2 twin beds and then a layout sofa. The layout sofa was actually bigger than the twin bed. It was just a little awkward getting in and out of the fold-out bed, because on this particular ship, which was Holland America line. It was the Koningsdam ship. The foot of the, it had a rail on the bottom and a rail on the sides. And so it was just a little bit difficult getting in and out, because at the end of the layout bed was the desk. So that part, just a little bit interesting to get in and out, but the bed was actually bigger and it was comfortable sleeping on. It was just that awkward getting in and out of it. Joe is asking me, have I seen Jersey yet? Bet she was super excited to see Gigi. Yes, I actually, Jersey and my daughter actually picked me up from the hotel, from the airport when I came back. And I did get to see her. She was tired because it was in the evening, getting really close to her bedtime. And then I'll tell you what I've been doing in a minute. But Remo is here saying good evening, Miss T and Quilters. Thumbs up, show your love and support for Miss T. We truly miss you. Awesome, you are safe and back. So thank you, thank you. Rochelle Sears says, welcome home. Hope you had a wonderful time on your trip. Regina Snow says, hello to you and everyone in the chat. Hello, Regina. Welcome to Chatting with Us Live. Appreciate you commenting. So that's the planning part. And then you have to pay for your flight. So that's the other thing you need to do. I ended up, my cruise left out of San Diego. So wherever your cruise leaves out of, that does not include your flight to where your cruise leaves out of. And so I also then had to schedule my flights. I went with Southwest Airlines. And then I also paid the additional $50 fee each way for automatic check-in, because I was going to be on a ship 24 hours before I had to check in, and I didn't want to be the last person getting seated on the plane having to sit in the back row. I hate the back seat of a plane because that's where the engine is rumbling and it's mostly hot. And so it was a 3.5 hour flight, but with the time difference coming home, it was 5.5. So I gained 2 hours when I went to San Diego. I lost 2 hours when I came home. In addition to gaining 2 hours when I went to San Diego on the cruise line, I also gained 2 hours on our way to Hawaii. And then when I came home, I lost those 2 hours. And then when I got to San Diego, and then I lost the additional 2 hours when I came to St. Louis. So the time zone thing does make a difference as far as jet lag, because that's what I've been doing the last Wednesday, Thursday. I slept most of the day, had one meal each of those days. I didn't eat anything Tuesday. I got in, my flight came in about 7 p.m. I didn't even worry about eating. I was more sleepy than anything else. And then yesterday, I ran some errands, did a post office drop, went and got my nails done, went to visit my daughter in Jersey, and stopped and got something to eat because I didn't feel like cooking. And I came home, and by the time I ate, I was tired again and slept again till really late. And then I was up last night till like 4. So I think I'm already back onto my schedule. So hopefully I'm not just still sleeping. I'm hoping I'm back on my schedule of being up through the night and sleeping later in the day. So that's kind of what I did today. And then I just had a chill, relaxing day. I was unpacking today to get some of this stuff out so I could show you what's going on here. Leetta Bryant here says, hello, TNT Quilters. Welcome back. Missed you. Thank you, thank you. And Janine Pfeiffer saying, hello, T and Quilty friends. So welcome to the chat as well, Janine. So one thing when you're scheduling a cruise, you have to decide if you're going to get insurance via the cruise line or if you're going to get insurance via some other vehicle. I didn't even take the time to investigate which one was cheaper or not. I just went to AAA. All three of us in our party just went to AAA and got insurance as a group, since we were traveling together. And so we just paid the fee at AAA and they divided it up and we just did what we needed to do. It was just quick and easy and convenient. I don't know if it was cheaper to get travel insurance via Holland America or not. And it probably was a good thing that we had insurance, because the day that I left St. Louis, it was the day that it was supposed to get icy and cold, -7 degrees. It did happen that night. They did predict it for that night, and it did come. But I left early in the morning, so it didn't affect me. But it could have if it had come early, because, you know, we're traveling in the winter months. If anything would have happened on the cruise, got sick or anything like that, it would have also covered that. If you needed to be transported home in an emergency, which I found out later that somebody did pass on the cruise ship, and they had to be transported from one of the islands. While it was happening, I didn't know anything had occurred, but again, I was off on excursions. Every stop we made, except Ensenada, Mexico, I actually had a shore excursion. So one thing, if you're getting insurance, and I had already had this planned, is that they would like for you to travel a day before your cruise starts. So I had already planned to go to San Diego a day earlier. My two counterparts, they had to readjust their flights because they were going the day of the cruise. And we had a boarding time of like 10:30. So if anything would have happened, you know, they would have been getting on either later, or if the flight had been the next day, we had all that ice and cold, the flight could have been delayed and or canceled, so it could have been an issue for them. But going the day earlier meant that I got to meet up with my good friend Jo Carmel Perkins. So I had organized with her early, like even when I first said I was going on this Hawaiian cruise like a year ago. She said that she would meet me she lives in California. I'm not going to give out any more information than that. If she wants to share that, that's fine. She doesn't have to. She's in California, so she decided that she was going to meet me in San Diego, pick me up from the airport, and show me around. And that's what we had been scheduled until like 2 or 3 months before our trip, when we got the AAA thing, and then my two friends had to redo their program. And so then Jo Carmel went another step further, which I think she was already planning part of it. She had Carla Ford there, and she also had Claudette Bettis meet us in San Diego. So we had like a little quilty retreat, rehash, sort of, kind of, with no sewing. But so Carla also came to the airport, because now I have 2 other people that have a lot of luggage, and so we did need 2 cars to get everything in. But Carla ended up having an SUV, so on going back, they did take us back the next day, and Carla was gracious enough to take us back. Everything fit in her car. Carla's a good packer. So she's got some skills with that. So that was really cool that we were all able to get in one vehicle, and she dropped us off. So that was really, really nice of them to do that. We had hotel rooms reserved, of course, and Jo Carmel, the party planner that she is, had a welcome banner for me in the room. So it was really sweet. It was a suite, had a welcome banner, had snacks and things like that. So it was really cool. And then we went and did Old Town San Diego, is where we ended up going after we had went to a couple of quilt shops. Okay. So yeah, so I have today that I'm sharing with you all, I've kind of just gone over a little bit on this cruise. I'll give you a few more details. I'm going to talk about the projects that I did. I'm going to talk about we went to quilt shops as well with our stops. That was part of our quilt excursions. And so those were still coordinated by Holland America, but they were for the quilters only, because we were stopping at quilt shops, and I don't think many other people on the ship would want to stop at a quilt shop if you don't sew. So, and then I got haul stuff from the trip, and it's a little bit tricky with that, because while I was in the quilt shops, if it was certain things that I could buy myself from Checkers, I just opened up my Checkers order form and I was ordering things from Checkers while I was in Hawaii, because I didn't want to pay full retail price when I can get it at wholesale price myself. So that's something. And then of course other stuff came in as well. So we're going to go over all of this. This was a 17-day cruise. I had never been on a cruise that was more than a 5-night cruise. So I also, in the instructions paperwork that I got prior to the cruise, it said we would be in Hawaii. We would be at sea 4 days and be at Hawaii in 5 days. And that's what I told my family. And then when we got on the ship, I noticed that all of that information had changed, and we were going to be at sea 6 days, which drove my daughter nuts because she was trying to get in touch with me. So we were at sea 6 days going to Honolulu. And then coming back, we had 5 days, and then we had to stop in Ensenada because of the maritime law that we have to stop in Mexico on the way back. And so we had 1 day in Ensenada, and then we came home the following day. So you spend a lot of days at sea if you're taking a cruise ship to Hawaii. The great thing for me was that it was a quilting cruise, so I had something to do from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then we had open sew time from 7 to 9 or 9:30 p.m. I can't remember now. So that kept us busy and kept us occupied. Otherwise, if you're on a cruise like that, that's in sea for 5-6 days like that, you're going to be doing a lot of the activities of the ship. Bingo, which I thought was very expensive to do bingo. They were charging you ridiculous money for a dauber to mark your boards with. I felt like it was expensive. I didn't play bingo. But you're going to be doing, they did have an arts and craft person on ship, and she did a lot of different things that were nice. I just didn't do any of that because I had my own crafts. But there's a lot of activities. They have games, like trivia type games, and then they have like board type games, basketball, swimming, of course, jacuzzis, whatever, you know, they got it all. And so you can find something to do, but you might end up getting bored if you're at sea and you are a quilter. Make sure you take some handwork with you if you are not on a quilting cruise. So that was the most negative thing, I guess, is because I was at sea so many days. And I normally take Dramamine, like the first day I take 2 doses. And then I don't get seasick anymore, but we had high waves out in the Pacific Ocean. My first time being in the Pacific Ocean, and I got seasick with 16-foot waves hitting the ship. And I mean, it was rocking sideways. I mean, you were walking and you were just just going with the flow. So just know that if you're going to take a cruise. So what else do we need? First, we're going to do, let's do what did I take, because I think that's important when you can't take everything on a cruise. The company did give us like a suggested list of stuff, and then each instructor had like their own supply list of things. Sometimes a kit was involved, sometimes it was not. So what I took on the cruise, I figured that they would have big cutting mats. So I ended up taking, instead of taking my 12-inch mat, I took the 14-inch mat because it fit in my luggage. I think they recommended like a 12 by 18 mat as a minimum. And then I also took this size of a ruler because if I fold fabric in half both ways, full yardage, then I can still cut it. So these are the 2 rulers. I barely used this ruler though. I used it on the first project and then I didn't use it anymore. So I'll tell you that too, what I used and what I didn't use. And then I also took a design board. I thought that this would be beneficial. This was a waste to take, and then it was, you know, if I had it in my bag, it was prone to getting bent because it's just that styrofoam, you know. But I didn't use that, so I'm just gonna put that over there. I took this light. It's an ot light. Arm flips out because it's travel size. I actually took another light that they gave us a link to like a month before. I took it and I brought this light as a backup, and I did not use this light at all, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. I'm going to show you the other light. I took a glove in case I had to do a lot of cutting, and if I felt like, since I was on a ship, if I felt it was moving, then I had one of those gloves. This glove actually is a Hardy glove, comes from Home Depot. You get left and right hand. It's made for construction workers, and I've actually ran my rotary cutter over this glove, and it does not cut. So that's the brand I recommend instead of getting the brand made for quilters. This right here is a Mophie, and I actually bought this a long time ago off HSN. It's a battery bank, and on top you could just sit your phone out of the case. On top it'll charge your phone like twice, and then or you can press a side button and you can have a light. And then on the front here, you can also jump your car. So these are the connections for that. And then over here, you have 2 USBs that you could plug in. This right here is telling you how much power you have available. So it has 4 spots. I charged it before I left and I haven't used it. And then also you have your regular AC plug-in. And so what I like about this power bank is that each one of these have their own power source. So if I don't want to use this part, I'm not wasting energy of the battery over here. It's only using the energy where you're taking the energy from. So that's one of the reasons why I like this. And I will show you later why I took that. And I didn't use it to even charge my phone. I'll just show you this while I'm here. Holland America on like day number maybe 4 or 5 or something. They gave us this bag when we were time for us to start going on excursions. The bag says that they've selling for 150 years. So that's a long time. So I'll just show you that while I have it. Other thing that I took, I'll take this out, and it's for sewing supplies. Claudette made this for me a while ago, and it's actually a little project case, and then it also has a matching pin cushion. And I don't have anything in the pin cushion because I took all the pins out for traveling. So I took this case for all of my sewing notions fit in here except for what I've shown you. The pin cushion fit in. I took my little mini strip stick. That's the reason why I love this when I'm working on just units. It's small and I don't have to take the 22-inch long one. Rotary cutter, of course. I took, for one of my projects, I needed to make bias binding, so I took one of those. I didn't have the right size, but I took the size I have because I wasn't going to buy another size. I took my pins. I just put them back in here instead of leaving them in the pin cushion because doing travel, I didn't want all of them to fall out and be all loose in here. So, did that. I needed glue, so I took a glue stick. You already know I took seam ripper, stiletto, wood press. I used this a lot because we had 2 rooms with sewing machines, and each of those rooms only had 2 irons. So we only had 4 irons the entire trip. I took thread snips. I took these because they were lighter than my other ones that I use all the time. These are heavier. So I was also dealing with weight. I was supposed to be doing some foundation piecing. I'll talk about that later. I still got that to do at home. a corner press because of one of the projects, a white marking pen, pencils, and that's it. So that's what I took. So I tried to be as minimal as I could. This is just Vaseline chap stuff for chapped lips. It's just been in there just in case. And so I took very minimal sewing supplies. The only other thing I took was the iPad I'm recording you guys on, because I had a book for class that ended up being the wrong book that I had downloaded from Amazon. Plus I used it for my reading as well. It's my reading tablet as well. And my camera, which I was recording on, and then my phone. So the only last thing I did, this was the light that I purchased from Amazon, and it folds down really compact, so I like that. And then it has it has a power button that you can press up to 3 times. So if you want more brighter light, you just keep pressing it 2 additional times. Once you cut it on, the 3rd time you press it, it's going to cut it back off. So it just cycles through that process. So this is a LED light, very compact, great for travel, really light. I really like this. It has, you can use AA batteries on this if you want, or you can use the USB to plug in. So that was one of the reasons why I had this. And this really helped when I was out when I was out doing handwork on the ship. Sometimes I would like to sit and just watch the ocean, so I'd find me a place in one of the lounges. Maybe they were playing games, but it didn't bother me. I would just hook this into here and cut the power onto that. And then I have my own light, because most of the lounges were very dark. They don't intend for people to be in there reading, but you know, we make a way, do handwork and that type of stuff. So I was able to use this as my light. The other great thing, and I'm sure you all, this was a surprise to me, the person that brought the sewing machines, he brought 40 sewing machines. We could take this and plug this into our USB on the sewing machines. I did not know that. I had never plugged anything other than my laptop in to get data down. I never thought about putting a light into my USB. So I have one over here on this baby lock, and I also have it on a Bernina. So if you have a machine that has a USB and you got a battery operated type light or something that needs power, they didn't want us to plug in any more power. They didn't want us to bring any irons. No matter how big or small, because of the ship's power base. And so this was really cool that we could just plug this into the sewing machines, and it saved on batteries, because if you buy double, it took 4, I think, AA batteries, and they don't last any time. This thing will eat up batteries, so you don't want to do that. So that's why I had this power bank, so that when I was in other places doing handwork, that I could have my own light, because it was not any place, even the rooms were not the brightest light, like the conference room. So you will be needing a light if you ever go on a cruise to do handwork, or if you're on a quilting cruise, get a light. And I'll give you all a link. I'll put it in the comment section once this video uploads, and I'll pin it at the top of the comment section if you're interested in that. So that's all I took on the cruise as far as supplies. Notions, you know, like what quilting supplies I took, because I know that would be a questions. Remorse reminding people to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you so much. So from there, I'm going to go to projects. So the first project that I worked on was a pattern that I ended up we downloaded. Like when you go to her site, is May Chappelle. Her name is Lee Monroe though. May Chappelle has to do with family naming of her company. And we did the Carolina Carousel and the Carolina Crossroads. It was an either or thing, and you could take patterns from either quilt. And the pattern is $22 for a download, which I thought was kind of expensive for a download. But then when I got the pattern, she does have color on almost every page. So I don't mind paying for a pattern that has some color on every page. It's not just all black and white. Let me see if I can find a photo of the finished quilts because this is the one that I printed for the download. However, when we got to her class, she actually gave everybody that purchased online an actual hard copy of her book, of the booklet rather. And so I'll show you that as well. Here they go. So you can make them into 3 different sizes she's got here, and then 2 different methods. So one side is your crossroads and one side is your carousel. So I opted to do the carousel just because I wasn't going to be doing a lot of, the crossroads has more hand embroidery. So yeah, that's why I opted to do that. And then as I continued to sit there, I realized that I wasn't going to be doing any hand embroidery on this quilt because my fabrics were not conducive for hand embroidery. I took all grunge fabrics, and so when I saw what she had in person, because her pattern doesn't really do justice to what you're actually making, the pattern of the quilt on there, but when you see them in person, then you realize the things that you could do, and that it was a lot of things that you could fussy cut. So let me show you that, what I've done so far. I am missing the final border on this. I decided not to do any hand applique because it was just too much going on in the room. We only had 2 irons in our room, and in order to do freezer paper applique, you need an iron, right? So I decided I wasn't going to be bothered with that at all. So I just took my grunge, made my own center block, and then I did the on point setting that she had. And she has applique in it as well, but I opted not to do any applique. So I'm going to show you the center here. Hopefully you can see that. So I just drafted that on a piece of paper, made that, and then I put this block on point. And then right here is when she had like applique circles right there. And then also I did these border blocks, so you can see all of the border blocks here. But I just did this center part. Now there is an outside border that has some foundation piecing. I have not done that part yet. I just wanted to at least get part of it put together. This was a 2-day class. And so since I didn't have any fabrics picked out for anything, it was just easier for me to continue this at home because we didn't have room to lay anything out. You're kind of planning each block as you go. You're planning each border as you go. So I didn't do that. Then in addition to purchasing the pattern, I did purchase her paper kit for the quilt. And in the paper kit, she gives you all of the applique pieces are already on the back of freezer paper. They're copied on freezer paper. And then it also has all of the foundation piecing patterns that you need. So I did purchase that. I think this was an additional $25. And I thought the pattern actually came with this, but it did not. I had to buy this, and then I had to buy the pattern. So I spent $22 and $25, so $47 for the pattern and the paper kit. And I will probably do this project later where I'll do the applique. But when I start saying that you could fussy cut certain things, it's just that this grunge, it just didn't make sense for me to do all of that work in the grunge. I might make this pattern again, but what I am going to probably do is do like quilting in these areas and make it really pretty with the quilting that I choose. So that's the first project that I did. Again, that instructor's name was Lee Monroe, 2-day class. Hi, Debus. I'm sure some other people have come in here. Maritza's Yarn and Crafts. that I have missed. Sylvia Martinez. So if I missed you, welcome to the chat, everybody. Second class I took was open sew for me. I did open sew. So the third thing that I did was Lee Monroe again. I ended up taking 3 of her classes, and she did the clutch case. So let me show you that. And there actually, I made both of mine in the same size, but she actually has 2 different sizes of this. But this is my clutch case that I made. I'm just letting you see the inside. And this is the outside with my little label. I did take one of my labels to put on it. And these, I really like these. She had all of her, like, say, if she was doing hand applique, she used one of these for her hand applique one. And then she might have had another one that had stickers in it. Or another one that had, had regular sewing notions in them. So she used these for various different projects. And then she also had this sticker that she gave to us. So I put that one in there because I had only brought one label. And we had to, of course, buy the hardware from her. So I ended up buying extra hardware. I think I bought like 8 more, or 8 total maybe. 8 or 9 total, I can't remember. So if anybody is interested in doing anything with this, want to have classes or something like that, we can talk about that. But you could do these cases in 2 different sizes. And then in the pattern, there's 2 different patterns. So I had to buy the patterns for this class as well, and the kit. And I can't remember what I paid right now. But if you these do come in 2 different sizes. There's a longer, shorter one if you want that size. But I opted to make 2 of the larger size. Or the taller bag, shall I say. The taller. Because I always got stuff to put in. That was a 1-day class. And it was, that class went so fast. We were done like maybe 1:30, 2 p.m. and the class went to 4. So 1-day class, it was really nice. Because that's why I took the class. Because I wanted to have at least something completed on the cruise. Next class I took again was Lee Monroe's class. Hold on, I forgot to tell you that, and I haven't, in order for us to use the machines, we had to do a make and take. And guess what brand of machines they had, guys? Bernina's. So, this is what we made in the make and take class. The sewing machine guy brought the fabric for us and the batting, and then we did the decorative stitching on here. And then I opted not to do a closure because I'm going to use snaps when I got home. So we also made this that you could put rotary cutter, things like that, supplies in as well. So forgot about that one. This one right here is another pattern called Luli's Garden by Lee Monroe. I did finish this entire quilt. She had for you to use 1 background fabric on this pattern, and I opted to make my background scrappy, and I just used whatever fabric I had laying around, because if it's not put up, I just tend to use it when I'm doing stuff like this. So this is actually your block here. So that's your block. Hopefully you can see that in front of this sewing machine. And I made 12 of these blocks. And I'm just going to hold it up so you can see the effect of putting your blocks together, hopefully. I'm sorry, this room is so tiny, guys. Hopefully you can see what this looks like. And again, I just used whatever scraps I had laying around. I really didn't care what any of these projects turned out looking like. And then I just opted to cut scraps on the lights. I had lights laying out working on the other project that I'm working on. So that's what I did. If you're interested in any of these patterns or anything like that, you can just let me know and I will get what you need. And that's Luli's Garden. That was a one-day class, but in class we only did one block. However, I had pre-cut out my entire quilt top because I die cut 95% of it before I left, because I wasn't going to be bothered with cutting all those pieces out in class. It's like 30 something pieces per each block, and I just did not want to do all of that on the ship. And I didn't realize that she brought like block kits that she sold to people, and a lot of people just opted to do the block kits, and a lot of people didn't do the entire quilt. I think I did 12 blocks, and one other lady did a quilt top that had 15. She made hers a little longer because in her pattern she gives you like different sizes that you can make it with. I decided I would do the twin, and then I would add borders. Well, this was lap, and I'm going to make it twin by adding borders is what I decided. Hi, Michelle the quilter. People saying they love the clutch. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, but you know I'm a scrappy quilter, so that's what I did, is I did the scrap stuff. My last class, and then I'll talk about some more supplies that I took for the last class. Sometimes I took the other classes from Lee because they were all pieced, and I'm really a piecer. I enjoy piecing. I don't enjoy a lot of handwork. We had one more instructor there. Her name was Sandra Molan, and I wish I had taken one of her classes now because she did landscape quilts, but I didn't know if I wanted to get that involved. But the techniques that she was teaching was really awesome. So if you ever get a chance to take a class from Sandra Molan, don't mess up like I did and don't take it, because the projects coming out of that class were awesome. But I took a class from Sue Spargo, who was doing all of the hand embroidery classes. So I took the last class that she gave, and it was Trade Winds. Now, I can't remember the last time I did some hand stitching. I have a hand project back right over there in one of these containers, and I'm not sure which one it is, so I don't want to go mucking with it right now. But I had been doing some blocks, so many... I think we were assigned one a month, but we were prolific in getting more done. I haven't gotten them all done to do the quilt top. That's why it's still in the project, but I know I have at least 12 of the blocks done. But it's been 10, 15 years since I've done any handwork. So I decided I was going to take Sue's class. The day of Sue's class, the time changed, and I thought I had changed my watch over, and I did not. So I come to class. Unbeknownst to me, I'm thinking I'm going 20 minutes early, and in reality, I'm 40 minutes late, okay? So I haven't done hand embroidery. Can't even remember what a back stitch is. I know what a running stitch is, because it's, you know. But I couldn't remember. I got the back stitch and the stem stitch confused. So I go in class, and I'm asking the person at the door, who ended up being her daughter, did they start early? And she says no, and I'm like, okay. But I'm saying in my head, but they're already working. So I sit down, and then Sue comes over, asks me if I have a kit. I had already bought my kit from her, which included the tapestry I'm going to show you. It's a linen piece of tapestry. And then the kit included all the cotton thread. She believes in using cotton thread. So I didn't have any cotton embroidery thread, so I paid for that. I think this thread was about $115, something like that. And then a linen printed piece was $25. So I'm invested in this project that I haven't done any handwork in a number of years. So I sit down, and she tells me that we're going to make chain stitches for the vines. And I'm like, okay. So then I sit down, and I couldn't even remember how to make a chain stitch. So then I go, because I'm not saying anything because I'm late, I'm behind. So then I go pull up my book that I had purchased from Amazon, thinking that it was her book. It was somebody else that had printed a book that the cover looks exactly like her cover. And it wasn't the correct book. But anyway, I found the chain stitch. And of course, you know, trying to find it on the tablet was a pain. So I'm telling you all, don't buy how-to books on your iPad if it's something like hand embroidery where you're going to be jumping around looking for stitches, because it's a pain in the butt. It's hard to find on the tablet. So I gave up trying to find it on the tablet, okay? And then I went to, in my e-reader, and I went to Sue and said, can you show me how to do a chain stitch? So she showed me how to do the chain stitch. Of course, she's right-handed, I'm left-handed, but I stood on the opposite side of her. And she was really kind, although she was wondering, what the heck am I doing in her room? I've never done any hand embroidery. I'm late. I don't even know how to do a chain stitch. So she really didn't have much faith in me. But she was still very pleasant. Style of teaching, I don't know how. I have never been in anybody's class that taught a hand embroidery class. So I'm not sure how it should be taught, but the style does not work for me. A lot of times we just gathered around and she showed us a stitch. And I'm one of them people, I want you to tell me to go up, and then I want to do it when you're doing it. And then I want to know where I'm supposed to go down, and I want to go down when you go down. And I don't know if something like an overhead projector with a camera on her, maybe we needed more advanced systems for teaching in the hand embroidery class. But anybody that asked her to demonstrate a stitch, because you were basically choosing your stitches in the end, but she was just trying to give you some ideas of what to use to get started. She could demonstrate a stitch without even looking in the book. And I was really impressed with that, because I couldn't even remember a chain stitch from years ago. And I know I've done them. And I know I've done like daisy stitches and stem stitches and back stitches. I haven't done any running stitches in anything. I've done French knots. I can remember how to do a French knot, of course. That one was easy because it's just like tying the end of your thread. I use my needle to tie the thread and pull it through. So I kind of remember French knot. So I had to learn some stitches. So I learned my goal. I capped myself at 7 to 10 stitches. I said, you learn those stitches and you're not going to worry about what everybody else is asking her. And I'm going to get this project done. Hi, Lizette Zayas. So this is what I've done. I did a little bit at home because I didn't want to forget. But this is going to be one of those long projects. It's probably be the rest of my life. But I have done a little bit. It's an underwater scene. And what I learned from her were the chain stitches. She used back stitch. Some kind of cup. I can't remember what the cup stitch is called. It's down here on this fish on the mouth. And then I put some in the body just so I can know what it was. And then I finished it off with French knots. So French knots, satin stitch. Let me look. A double cast on stitch, which I really love. That's these knots right here. These are double cast ons. I fell in love with those. I got one more sea lion to do so that I can do that. Stem stitch. I forget what this circle one is called. I think it's like a wheel stitch where you do a 5-spoke thing and then you just weave in and out, and what it does is it raises the thread up to make a knot, so it's kind of 3D. So I learned that, and then I also learned this stitch that makes this that I can't remember the name of. This dot in the middle is raised. But I had to order her real book, so it's coming in the mail. And I'm proud of myself for what I did because I haven't done this in a long time. I'm sure Sue didn't have confidence in me having this much of this done. So, and I joked with her at the end of it, and she said she thought I was gonna, oh, this was a different stitch. It was a back stitch, an open blanket stitch, not a back stitch, an open blanket stitch, the way it was made. So yeah, I actually enjoyed the class. The first day I was in there, I was an hour late, and I got up like an hour early and left because my brain hurt because I had not done handwork in a long time. And the second day I came, I was on time, and I still left an hour early because they gave me one more hour in there. And then the last day, I think I just left 30 minutes early. And that was because I'm not used. A lot of people that took Sue class, they're followers of her. They do this all day, every day. And for me, learning all of these stitches, trying not to get confused, hearing them requesting other stitches, my brain was tired and I didn't want to be overwhelmed. And I would leave her class to go find me somewhere quiet on the ship, and then I would go do some hand stitches on my own. But I enjoyed the class, and I'm looking forward to getting it done. And that's why I did get this one little fish done, because I wanted to have one section that was completely done before I walked off the ship, just for my own motivation. So I was able to do that. It's a lot. Okay, so for the hand class, I had to have, she recommended bringing a hoop, and I started out using a hoop, but I find I just like holding my fabric without the hoop. I did use the hoop the entire first day, and then the second day I used it about an hour or two, and then I had her demo some stitches, and the hoop was kind of in the way, and I said you could take the hoop off. And once the hoop came off, I never used it again. I had to have some scissors, and of course different needles. I think this is not the bag. It must be another bag somewhere. Hold on. So I had and I found you need a pack of needles, not just a needle. So we use chenille number 24 needles. You need Milner's needles depending on what you're doing. And then the last needle here, these are Milner's too, in different sizes. And then you need a tapestry needle, which I apparently took out and put back in here. If you're somebody that needs something to cover your fingers, these are thimble it, no more sore fingers. You might need something to pull your thread through. You might need a needle threader. I ended up not using these, and you might also need something to store your needles in. And I also bought like the little strawberry, just in case I wanted to put my needles in there. But I ended up just, all my needles are just placed throughout my piece of linen. I just run them in there 2 or 3 times, and they've been staying in there. I don't think I've lost any needles, because sometimes I was having like 5 different needles threaded, because before I could get through, because I'm slow, I'm also left-handed, having to do everything opposite of what she says. I was a little slow, and so by the time I'm catching on to the technique, she'd be giving another stitch. And so, like I said, after I got so many stitches, and a lot of them were fun, the double cast on actually is my favorite. It takes the longest to do, but it was actually my favorite stitch to learn. But, so yeah, so that was that. And then I also took my own handwork prior to Sue's class. I took some sashiko. So I finished this piece here. I got about 8 other blocks of sashiko completed, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't know. I got a lot of them. So I finished this one. And so then when we went to a quilt, I brought this one. And so I finished this one so fast that I thought I might need more. So when we went to quilt shops, I ended up buying more. But I brought this one from home, and I didn't get it finished, because now I have a choice of sashiko or the linen embroidery. So I almost finished this one, but then I bought more because I got this one done so fast. I bought more while we were in Hawaii, just because I thought I was going to run out. So that's my projects and what I took, all of the supplies that I took. One thing that was really neat for me was that I used all of my project bags. I took this one. It had my handwork in here, so whenever I wanted to, if I knew I was going to go somewhere, sit down quietly, and I just needed my handwork, I could just pick this one up for just my handwork. This one had a mix of stuff, because I had like my lights, my notions, everything in here. The other thing that I did was, I told you all I was going to be working with these half square triangles. I have all 600 of these things sewed. I just now need to press them all. And I've also have all 600 of those sold into 120 of these like this. So I just got to do a lot of pressing, but this is what I did for chain piecing and got the whole bag done. So that's for a project that I'm working on. And I'm just showing you my bags for right now. So this bag had my sewing notions, and then like if I was going to the clutch class, then I would put the stuff that the clutch needed in here. And then I took and I also had like a bag that I had because I cut out Luli's Garden Complete, so I had that in here in a big baggie that was all cut out ready to go. And this one here was for Carolina's class, and I just had all of my fabrics in here. I had the pattern in here that I took out so you all could see. But these project bags came in really handy in keeping me organized, and then I could just take that project bag plus the one that had the notions or whatever in it for sewing. So I do recommend the project bags. Even if you don't take your stuff in the project bag set up, when you get there, you just taking what you need into the current project bag. But I never had to take this out because this was just all handwork. So it didn't matter if I took 2 handworks with me. That was even better because I could pick and choose what I wanted to work on. So those work fine. Okay, this right here was given to us on when we got there. Apparently there were some people that realized that the quilters were going to be on the cruise. The cruise was sold out for the quilting bookings, and so people were booking saying that they were just going to come to the quilting room anyway. So she ended up making these name badges that we had to wear when we were in the quilted related things. We had a welcome, and we also had like a show and tell at the end. So we had to have this type of stuff so we could get in. And at the end, it kind of got relaxed because it kind of got around the ship that you couldn't get into the room unless you had paid. So, something else that I bought 2 of these, and I've already, these are gifts. We went to the island of Kona, Hawaii, and Hawaii is also known for Kona coffee. And she explained, we went to a Kona coffee plantation is where I bought this, and she explained how the coffee is made, showed us the entire process. It was very detailed. We didn't have a lot of time, so she ended up having to cut it short. But I bought this 8 ounces. Let me make sure. Yeah, 8 ounces of coffee. It was whole bean that I had ground because I wasn't sure if the people I was getting it for were going to want it ground or not. And so I just went ahead and had them ground because I wasn't sure if they had a grinder. And so I got medium roast because I wasn't sure if they wanted medium roast or dark roast. But this little bag here was 30 bucks. And I bought 2 of them. So the coffee is very expensive. She did say buyer beware. If you see people that have Kona on it, make sure you read and see if it's other stuff listed or made somewhere other than Hawaii. Because there are only a certain number of people that can sell Kona cotton. So coffee, because we thought we had seen Kona coffee sold in the USA, but it will only be at your high-end establishment selling Kona coffee. So this is a gift. I just held on to it so that I could show you one of them, but I bought 2. I ended up buying a Hawaii t-shirt because eventually I'll probably make a t-shirt of all my travels. This is the back. I tend to make I tend to buy a t-shirt everywhere I go just in case. So, about that. Let me show you this and then I can start putting stuff in here. I bought this bag because when I got there, I decided that I needed a carry-on. I had my backpack, but I needed another carry-on because my luggage was already at like 48 pounds. And so anything that I bought, I was going to have to carry on to the plane. So I bought this bag. And what was really cute about it was that it opens up. And then you have like a little coin thing that also has a zipper, which is really cute. And then I just put my hand sanitizer on the outside of that. So that's cool. And it also zips across the top. That's why I bought this instead of the bags that I got for free, because I didn't want stuff falling out when I got on the airplane. So it actually zips all the way across. Nice big size, and I was able to use it as a carry-on, but right now I'm going to be putting this stuff back in here. We went to one quilt store that gave us this bag, and I mean, this red on here, boy, if your bag get wet or something, I think then it just leaks. It just runs. But it was really nice that she gave everybody that got off that bought something from her store this bag. And this is not, you know, this is a good gift to give to your customers. And some people may have just bought, you know, $10 worth of something. She didn't care. She was happy to see everybody. It was a Vicky's fabric in Kapaya, Hawaii. I think that's how it's pronounced. I can't pronounce half the places that we went, but we enjoyed Vicky's. Lee Monroe, as I was leaving, she gave me some stickers of like quilt blocks. I'm just going to show you the ones that are different. And she told me I can do whatever with these. I am just going to probably put these into my retreat bags. I think I have enough between the packs. I'll count them and see that I think I can put one of these into the retreat bag. So I'm going to put that aside because it needs to go somewhere else. Ooh. Okay, and then also from Chappelle, I told you all that I have both of the case clutch wallets. I bought additional hardware to put in there. We also in the kit needed a particular type of glue. I have that. And that's what this is. This is just leftover fabrics that I took to make the clutch wallets. Michelle says, my two friends love Sue Spargo, and you have taken classes with her. They love to do embroidery. I would have done the same as you, especially if I walked in late. You were very practical. Annette says, nice pretty bag. She also has many videos online from Michelle. Love the bag. Hey, Tiffany. Your embroidery looks good. That's from my friend Deborah. And that's the only thing I was sitting there thinking about. I said, if I don't like this, I'm going to get this to my friend or she can help me. Because I know Deborah's does awesome handwork. So let me, because I'm trying to get to these right here. I ended up in the pattern for the clutch wallets, so you can see the shape of the smaller one right here. So I'm just going to put the brown over the white so you can kind of see the height. This is up here. I still got the paper on that one. I ended up buying the templates to cut them out instead of using the paper template, just because I figured I was going to make a few more of these. So you can buy templates for these as well. So again, if anybody is interested in anything, I can do like a bulk order from her if you all are interested. So I opted to buy that. I can't remember what the prices are right now because I ended up having her send me a PayPal invoice. I got a postcard for a friend. Hopefully she's not watching. She loves postcards. So I only bought one postcard. This is of the USS Arizona Memorial. I bought, y'all know that I'm doing the Robot Rose, but not really, right? So I bought license plates. Quilting on the Beach, Quilt Passions in Kilauea, or Kilauea, Kona, in Kona. And then this one is Kapaya Stitch, Kapaya. I don't know how you say these places. I'm butchering them. I'm just gonna say Kauai and Stitch in Kauai is that one. And then this one here is Maui no Ka'awa something like that. And I asked them, what did that mean? I don't think I wrote it down, but I think it means like the best or something, like we're number one or something like that. So I got those because I'm doing the row by rows, right? And then I'm not putting it back in the bag. It's getting full up here. Okay, this is just a map. I don't want to put the card in there. I'll be needing that. I got this Kona printed panel. They had a whole quilt of like different islands or things that you could do in Hawaii. And I just opted to get the one just to have one for the Kona Island. It was actually one of my favorites. I like the quilt shop. I like the Kona cotton, the Kona coffee plantation that we went to. And I can't remember if we went somewhere else. I think we went somewhere else and it was closed though. So that's that. I'm trying to wait to get to the other Sudoku. One of the shops just came out. Some of the people were kind of already on the bus, but she came out and had a basket of fabric. So many people had bought so many things from her that she ended up coming out with a basket of fabric and just said that we could pull one. She had like small print, solids and all of that, but I just pulled one of the florals. I didn't really care since it was free. And I figured maybe I might just do something with a fat quarter. Maybe make a little clutch wallet out of it, and then it can be something of my Hawaii trip. I bought this fabric that has like aloha, hula, dancers, has Hawaii, Maui on it. It's not like the prettiest fabric, but it was just one of those fabrics that, this was the first piece of fabric I bought, and I said I wasn't going to buy anything unless it was like a Hawaii type fabric. So I thought I might make something, maybe project bags or something like that out of here, that when I see it, it'll always remind me of my trip. And I gotta have another bag somewhere. I don't know. Because I am missing, I bought some color floss. And I know I bought another Sashiko kit. But right now, I have in my hand is, we saw this, a quilt made with this in the windows. And they just basically put fusible web on the back of this fabric, cut out all of these melons, and then they made a pretty quilt out of it. The one that they used had a white background, or was like more pastels, and this right here is more jewel tone. So quite a few people in the store were buying this particular fabric. We bought like 1.5 yards of this. Vicky's even gave us, I didn't even realize this, in the bag was Hawaii. She gave us another postcard that we could use, so that's cute. Okay, I think that's all in here. This is Sashiko thread. I need to leave that out because I need it. And then I also bought a wrap. Let's see what they call it. It's a long sarong. And I like the blue, royal blue color. And then it's got the flowers. So I am not going to be able to show you all of this, but it goes like this on the body. But there you go. Right there. So I got that. I bought that at Paradise Cove, which was an excursion where we did the luau. While I enjoyed the luau, I liked the fire chiefs the best, and I did not like the food at all. It was, they had like roasted a pig in the ground, and then they had chicken as well, I think. To me, the food wasn't very tasty. It was like they only used salt and pepper and And I'm a person that doesn't like a lot of salt. And I didn't feel like it was kind of any salt in there for somebody that uses very little salt. But they definitely didn't use any other seasonings either. So this is one of the sashikols that I got, since it was like a wreath, just in, again, something to be in remembrance of Hawaii. But what I liked was in their model, they also used fabric in certain parts of it, and I added the fish. So I thought that was really cool too. So I know I got some fabric that has the fish already. And then this is another one that's not sashiko. It's an applique one. But I just thought that was pretty. It's a whole block of the month type thing. It's the one that's the long one in the center is what I got. But I didn't want the whole kit, so I just bought this one block. And I bought thread to do that one with, to do the blue sashiko with. But apparently I didn't bring that bag in here, or if I did, I don't see it right now. So I got a bag laying somewhere around my house, because it has sashiko thread. And let me make sure it's not in here. Nope, this is the bag. I already emptied that one. All right. So remember I told you all that as I was shopping, I was not buying all the things that I saw. A lot of things in Hawaii, they make a lot of the stuff that you can see on YouTube, or they make a lot of bags, and then they are actually selling that in the quilt shop, which I thought was weird, because that shouldn't be your clientele, but apparently it must be selling because they're selling them. And they have a lot of them, and every store had it. It wasn't like it was just one store, but like the project bags or an ID bag, something like that. So I took a lot of pictures because I know I've seen YouTube videos. And then everything else, I just kind of put in my little checkers order as I was shopping, okay? So when I got to the last island, that's when I hit submit on my order. I have a lot of bag patterns. But this box here is from San Diego. Shop hopping in San Diego. What I was doing was I was buying more fabric because I wanted more options on. I have a lot of grunge fabric here, but it wasn't what I wanted as far as the value of the stuff that I had. So I actually saw a couple of pieces that I had different values of that I purchased, and then Joe Carmel was so kind to send this to me. She took it so that I wouldn't have to take it with me to Hawaii, and she mailed it back for me. So I got this purple grunge, and what I did was I cut out a fat quarter of each one so that I could use it on the trip. And then I took one of them, I took the entire 2 yards because I thought I was going to do the final border, but I didn't. So these are all grunge that I purchased somewhere. I'll tell you when I get to a receipt. Red. And then I know I bought black too, but that was in my project bag already. And then I also got a license plate for that because I'm really into these row by rows, guys. Stay cozy. I'm really into them. I haven't done one yet, but I'm a good collector. So let's see, who did this grunge comes from? That's just the... Okay, so it came from Rosie's Calico Cupboard. And I'm thinking that's where this license plate came from. No, this is Cozy Creative Center. And I can't remember if I bought anything else from her. Let's see what this is. I know what that is. We went to one other place in Old Town, San Diego. Treasures by the Sea. And I bought magnets and this hoodie. I think it's a hoodie. Yep. So it's just a San Diego hoodie. right there. And I knew I wasn't going to wear it, so I asked Joe if she would mail. I said, would you mail this back if I get this? So that's what I did with that. I got 2 magnets. That's the bag that's missing because I haven't shown y'all the other magnets. I don't know where I put it. It must be laying in my living room somewhere. It's the same magnet because I got one for me and one for my daughter. Just the San Diego magnet, kind of have all of the highlights of San Diego. And then on the back, you can use either side of the magnet. Has San Diego on the back as well. So they're 2-sided. So it's 2 of those. So I'll leave this one out because I need to get that for my daughter. And then this last piece of fabric was red, kind of sparkly. I thought that would look really cute in some bags. And I purchased some fabric like this before, but it was like in your gray and gold, more muted colors, and y'all know I love red, so I ended up buying that. So thank you, Joe, for sending this back. I sent you an email asking you how much I owe you for shipping, and let me know, girl. I'll just put this back in here for now. This bag here is from the Fat Quarter Shop, has nothing to do with Hawaii, but it does have a little bit to do with Katie, the Greenland quilter. I actually won her door prize, and I kept forgetting to order something from the Fat Quarter Shop, so I ordered it right before I left. And then I had to add, of course, some money to it. Trying to see. So I still spent $32 when I got through. So I ordered yardage because I keep buying like fat quarters of fabric. Wait a minute. They got some stuff wrapped. They always do that. They wrap stuff in stuff, and so you think you only got 2 pieces. But I got this black background because I needed some yardage, and I don't know which one is which. Wait a minute. So black, I got 2 yards, $7.44 a yard. This pink, see if I can find a color. I guess I got 1 yard of everything else. So I've got 1 yard of that one. I just needed yardage of, what's her name? I'm blocking her name. Jason's gonna kill me. It's right here. Hold on. I wasn't planning on Rashida Coleman's fabrics. And it might not all be hers, but it's very similar. So I just needed something that I had yardage on. So I've got the ladies in yellow. Then the ladies in pink and blue. Kind of a dark purple pink. And then I've got it in that color. So I just needed yardage. And those pieces were $8.24 a yard. So that's what I purchased with... I had a $25 gift certificate, and then I still spent $32. So I have to put that back. Ugh, I got a lot, guys. What time is it? See, it's 9:23. That's why I didn't do this on Wednesday. I ordered a piece of fabric from Joann's. I ordered more than that, but this was the only one that they actually had when time came for them to send it. So you're shocked as well as I am on which one I got. But they had a sale, and I don't think they put a thing in here, so I don't even know what it's called, and I don't know how much I paid, but I know it was very reasonable. But you had to buy a minimum of 2 yards, and I just thought this was cute. And it could also be fussy cut, like if I wanted to do bags and things like that, I could have this be a focus, or I could have this be a focus. So I just bought that, 2 yards of that. It's the same all the way down. Then I ordered, these are going to be some of the things that I ordered from Checkers, because, not this one. We have a store here called Afro World, and I happened to go in there because I was looking to purchase, you know, hair. And they didn't have the hair that I wanted, and because it's a black owned business, the owner was there. She was really, really nice, and I got some other things that are going to be happening with her in the future I'll talk about later. But I always want to buy something when I go into stores like that, because it's not crowded. You're wondering how they're keeping their rent paid. And so I ended up buying these earrings from her. They're like imitation leather, so like vinyl, and they're on both sides, so no matter what side you're looking at, you see the earring. And then also, I bought an earring and necklace set that I don't have to show you guys because I bought it as a gift and I mailed that. So, sorry you all didn't get to see that one. So, I'm all over the place. That's why I said this haul was going to be a mess. This one's from Checkers. I like that they saran wrapped this book. That was really nice. I bought some more stuff from Checkers too that you're not gonna see because they're gifts. Some of them I mailed, some of them I'm still holding. But I like this quilt. I've used her I've attempted to start one of her patterns and haven't finished it. But I really like her diamond in the 45-degree diamond patterns. This one might be 60-degree, I'm not sure. I haven't looked yet, but I do like this brand. So I purchased that book. And sometimes when I'm purchasing stuff like that, it's because I'm right under what I need to place an order. So sometimes I'll put in extra stuff. And then I bought this one. I thought that was really cute, where they got the color wheel inside of a camera. I thought that was really, really pretty. So I bought that one as well. Little bitty pattern. Let's get these patterns that I saw while we're doing patterns. Let's just get some more. I saw a lot of these bags made up online. So yeah, I decided to do that. So this is the gem bag. It was really, really pretty made up. It's really pretty in the pattern as well. Just gorgeous. And then they have it in the back in 2 different colorways. And then they're made with templates. I'm not sure if you need them or not. I decided to go ahead and order one just so I could see if I need it or not, and we'll see. It's got a refill pack of 3 in here. So I purchased that. Then you've got Quilt Smart. I've done this bag without the templates that are in here, but I'm also trying to see if it's going to be easier. So I went ahead and bought this pattern in the large size and the mini. Is it called mini or midi? Midi. And it's the Mondo bag. And then the Mondo bag is just renamed midi for a small one. And then it has you can see the interfacing here for you to put your pieces on. So I'm just doing it to see what's going on. But they had a lot of those bags made up selling them, and I thought I would try it. This one, I don't know if I saw it made up. I just like the bag. It's called the Road Trip bag. Has a zipper on top. I think it has a zipper on top. Maybe I did see it made up. I don't know. I can't remember. But I bought this pattern as well. This one I saw made up, and I like the little opening in the eye. They use mesh, and I'm thinking I might want to make this and use vinyl. And maybe I can put my hand embroidery stuff in here, because I need like a small bag because it doesn't need to be huge. And then I can separate my sashiko from that. I don't know if you all know, you can now buy legit kits without having to buy the fabric with the kit as well. So I ended up buying the little Hummer kit. I actually accidentally bought this twice. So if anybody wants a little Hummer pattern, let me know. I have an extra one right here. Same thing. They had two different item numbers, and I think it was on back order at first, and I didn't know it. That's the issue I have with Checkers, is that when you go to order something, they don't tell you that you already have a back order. They'll just add another one into your cart. Let's see what that cost. The little Hummer. I don't see it on here. I don't see it yet. I got other sheet. Hold on. Pattern. It's $70 for this. So if somebody wants it, if you were buying the kit, I think they go up to starting like $250 to like $500 for the kit and patterns. But it's got all the paper templates. All you got to do is just pick your own fabric you want to use. Everybody doesn't like using just a solid. So if you want to make it in some different fabrics, you now have the option of doing that. So if somebody is interested in this, just let me know. Christine talking about, I've heard several times now that the food at those luau's was not tasty. No, it was the worst thing I ever had. Rima was saying, I guess she's saying they use Kona. I don't know what she's saying about Kona cotton sheen. I don't know what that means when you just put it. I can't make up stuff. Thank you, Sean, saying beautiful fabrics. Rashida. I knew you was out there hollering, Rashida. Like, there she go again. I love those ladies. I did a quilt with them earlier last year. They were so cute. That's Sean at, I don't know what that is, Savvy Designs. That's really nice. That red fabric. Oh, that's what Remo was saying. It's Kona cotton sheen. Okay, because I didn't know what brand it was. I just thought it was pretty. I got a couple more bag patterns, and then I've got the hardware that goes with them. This Auntie Twos, and I think this is the small one, is Auntie Twos, and then Auntie Twos, the Poppins bag. This was a large bag made up, was really, really pretty. And then you've got the hardware that goes in it to make the top, keep it shape, and then they also had the minis. So I bought like another set of hardware too on the big ones, and then I bought another small one for the hardware. I'm almost finished, guys. Two more from Checkers, and then something I got from Amazon. I finally decided to go ahead and try these magnetic pin cushions. I actually want to use this. I use the little metal trays, the magnetic trays, or not trays, but they are like trays. They're like little bowls you get from Harbor Freight, and I go in there every once in a while and I do stick myself. So I'm going to see if this works on my long arm pins, and I have one on both sides of my table depending on where I need to grab a pin from. So I actually bought two of them. So I'm going to try these and see if they work. And Remo says she made that bag, that the hardware is important. I'm halfway through a Poppins bag and gave up. That's Betsy. You just need to bring it to Scrap Club. We can figure it out, girl. Christine says, I have the large popping bag. I haven't made it yet. Teresa Forrester says, you love making bags. This heart's in the way. I need to get started and make one. And see, this is already catching pins. I don't even know where that pin come from. And then the last two things that I got from Amazon. And it's some other stuff because I have no bag of magnets. I have a bag of magnets somewhere. And it might be, it's got to be a sashiko kit in there because I bought a sashiko kit and some thread as a backup in case I ran out. But I saw this. Somebody else was recommending it. Flexible LED craft light, something that I'm just going to be testing out to see if I like it better than my current lighting system. Vivolux, and then also Vivolux red laser. This is the one that I'm really interested in because sometimes I need to have a laser light and I don't have one on either one of my machines, and I'm not upgrading a machine just to get a red laser light. So I'm hoping that these work. And that's it. Woo-wee. And like I said, now I did not put everything back in the bag like I said I was. So now I got to figure out how I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to recycle Joe's box. See if I can put all these patterns in here. To get those out the way. Put the big ones in first. And I'm trying to think if there's anything that I forgot to tell you. Oh, I have a mini dusted. I forgot about that. It's just laying there. I like these, and then I can't find mine. I get them all matted up and knotted cleaning my sewing machine out. But I got one of those. They normally were brown, so I was surprised to see it in gray. So I got that to clean my sewing machine. This Bernina, it doesn't drop a whole lot of stuff down in the bottom. It mostly sits up on top, so that's why I've got that. Okay, I got this checker box I need to get rid of. All the patterns were in here. I need to fold it up just so I can move other stuff around, so I can get out of here. All right. Just didn't want it to fall, so at least I can move now. Let's see. Lana Dean is here saying, evening everyone, coming from wedding. Hope it was nice. I love going to weddings. Teresa says, I bought a laser light at a show. Loved it at first, but it is mounted where it easily bumps down. I took it off. And that's the thing. I'm trying to figure out like where best to mount it. And I can't remember now because it was pre me going to Hawaii when I ordered that. I can't even remember which person showed me the laser light because they had it in an interesting spot, and that's why I bought it, to try it. So I'm gonna have to try to figure that out. Sue says, very interested in your review of the laser light. Would you take another, oh, Joe is asking me, would I take another 17 to 18 days sewing cruise? Me personally, 7 to 18 days is a long time. And it depends on if we're gonna stop somewhere, but most of the days that we stopped at port, we didn't have any open sew or any classes, so it's like a catch-22. But 6 days at sea was a bit long for me without having to step out on some land and have some solid footing underneath me. I think I would personally probably prefer to have a 10-day cruise. Would probably be really nice. Just a little bit longer than a week, because I've done 5 days, and which I wish I had done a week. Now, I met all kind of friends. I have about 5 or 6 friends that I met on this cruise that I'm gonna actually keep in touch with. And we were talking about doing another cruise. And the problem with doing a cruise with these people is that they do cruises 2, 3, 4 of them a year. And they don't like the 4 and 5 day cruise. They want to do, like, they're saying that 18 days was too short for them. But I don't know. I think it has to be a balance where I'm not at sea more than 3 days or something. It was a bit too much for me to be at sea so many days. So I don't know if I would want to do another 17 to 18 day cruise. If I'm hired as an instructor, I guess I wouldn't have a choice. I would probably do it. That's the other thing. Would you all be interested in doing a cruise? I did talk with the person that set up this cruise, and I do plan to take other sewing quilting cruises. I want to do other companies to see how things are ran as well. But I did talk with her and said that if anybody wanted to go on a cruise and wanted to take some classes from me, that, you know, it could be set up through her. It just depends. So you all can let me know if anybody is interested. I know I've had people saying to me when I first said I was going on a cruise that they wanted me to schedule a cruise where we go and I teach classes and things like that. So that's another way that that could happen. So if people were interested in that. So, but you would most definitely, like I said, you most definitely will have to make sure you can pay your money within that 9 months to 1 year ahead of time. They've got particular deadlines that you got to meet. And if you don't meet them, you kind of forfeit your spot. It's going to somebody else. So they don't really mess around with that, especially when it's filling up. Because if something is filling up and you haven't paid and somebody else wants it, they're going to take that other money if you haven't paid. So I would only take another cruise if I'm hired on another 17 to 18 day cruise if I'm hired as an instructor. I am not personally going to sign myself up for another cruise, especially if it's non-quilting related. That's too long for me. A lot of these people have done the trip around the world on the cruise ship where they've been on the ship 120 days plus doing a trip around the world. I personally can't do that. I would go bonkers. Thanks, T. She says she loved the haul. And Joe Cormel says, absolutely, yes. So, yeah, I personally think, I don't know. I don't know how it can be managed in a cruise that's like 4 or 5 days. That's why I think you almost have to go on like a 10-day cruise. Because when you go into port, you're not going to want to sit on the ship and take a sewing class. You're going to want to go out to port and see what's in that particular place. So you're going to have to take a cruise that's at least 10 days minimum if you're thinking about doing a quilting cruise, because it doesn't make sense to have class and you're in your dock somewhere that's pretty outside. Plus, I need to get outside too so I can get my land legs back. So I got seasick going and coming back. So, and I just happened to catch it both times where I was only affected like an hour. But yeah. Uh-oh, my screen's moving. So I think I answered all the questions. I kind of knew this was going to take more than an hour. That's why I didn't come live on Wednesday. And I knew if I came live on Wednesday, you all were going to be asking me about the cruise stuff. So that's why I did not come live on Wednesday. Although I probably slept right through the live time anyway. I had a great time in Hawaii. I took a lot of video footage. When I was in Ensenada, I did an intro to Ensenada, and then I don't think I picked the camera up again, but I did take a few pictures. So I don't know how I'm going to be sharing this information. If you happen to be lucky enough that I saw your friend request and you were a friend of mine on Facebook, you got to see a day-by-day recap, because I knew I was going to forget a lot of the stuff. So I was trying to do a little pre-documenting, but I didn't put all the pictures and I didn't put any video on my Facebook page. So I do have, I'm going to guess and say about maybe 13 or 14 memory cards filled from my camera. And it's just a matter of me trying to figure out how much of that to share, because Hawaii was very beautiful. The weather was fantastic. We had one day that was raining, but every time we got off the bus, it was dry, so we never got wet. I ended up taking my raincoat that day, and that was the only day I took my raincoat. So we had really beautiful weather, and I was really concerned because when I looked at the weather last year when I booked, they had a lot of rain in Hawaii. And so I was thinking, oh, this must be their rain season. So I was really happy that we did not get a lot of rain. Hey, Shaquita Pearson. Dresden and the Robin. So I think she's asking me, we just reminder about the projects that are coming up. February, you need to have round robin, your centerpiece done, no more than 20 inches, so 20.5 inches edge to edge with the seam allowance. I'm going to be sending out some information on that. I got to remember now where I did with the sign-up sheet. I had it at my computer. I'm hoping it's still over there because I was making that list. And then we also have Dresden Village that we're working on. We're going to start that in March. I have to still figure that out because I'm just home. All I've done is slept since I've been home for the most part. So I have to figure all of that stuff out. And then Fabulous Block of the Month is also going to be starting in March as well. So I'll be making some Facebook groups for that. Cost for the groups, I can't remember what the cost was. Was it $12 to join those Facebook groups? A couple of you have paid for Dresden Village, but I have to get all of that stuff situated. I can't even remember right now. I'm blank. That was not something that I pulled to talk about, but Remo, that's great that you brought it up. I'll try to remember to have all the information that's necessary so we can discuss it on Wednesday, in Wednesday's live. You're welcome, Sean says, thank you for sharing. Great haul. So very happy that you are back. Happy birthday to your mother. Yes, her birthday is March 9th. So it's still a while before her party. But when you're planning something like this, like I said, it ended up turning into a mini family reunion. Cost way more money than what I was anticipating spending. But that's okay. I do have, like, my niece is trying to help me. My daughter is helping me. My sister is helping by doing the food at the Saturday event. So I do have a little bit of help, but it's still more costly than I thought, especially coming off of my Hawaiian cruise. So yeah, it's a lot. And then I still have to work with retreat that's coming up last week of June, Tuesday through Sunday. That's coming up. Sue said 143 days are left until retreat, and I'm working on that. I think I've got like most of my nitty gritty stuff done. I haven't heard from the bus company, so that's one thing that I've got to do is make sure I get that bus contact done. So Monty Pep saying welcome back. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Bonita Nan, she says that's her sister's birthday. March 9th is my mom's birthday party, which also happens to be her birthday, and she's turning 85. So I was planning on, we have a large family. My mom had 8 children, and then the grandchildren and the great-grands and the great-greats down through that are numerous. So what I was doing was renting a place so that we could just have dinner with my mom all in one place. Like when we go to somebody's house, you know, everybody can't sit down at the same time. So that's what I originally was planning, and it was still costing enough money. But then when people from out of town found out about it, and some of them want to come, then I changed the location because it wasn't big enough for additional people. And it wasn't something that I wanted to present to out of town company. So now I'm at a place where it's presentable to out-of-town company. It's big enough for out-of-town company, and it costs me more money. So, and we had to add a Friday night event. We're going to have a game night. So that's kind of what's happening on my front. I'm still super busy as ever. I guess if I had not gone on this vacation, I just would have been just going crazy nuts. So because of all the things I got to do, I still got a lot of things to do. I'm glad I took the vacation time. Did I relax on vacation? Not really, because I'm one of those people that I go to places so that I can see things. I don't go on vacation to go sit on the beach and lay in the sun or sit in the pool. I go places. If the ship dock, I'm off trying to figure out what's going on over here. So when we got to Ensenada, I did not have Excursion. I'll talk about excursions a little bit since we got another 10 minutes. I didn't have an excursion, but I did get off, and they had shuttle buses that would take you to the shopping area, but I ended up walking with this other traveler. We walked and met some other people that took the shuttle, and then we convinced them to walk back. But I'm one of those people that I just like to get off and go do some stuff and see what's going on. Oh, I know another thing that I bought in Mexico was I bought pure vanilla. And that's changing a little bit. Prices in Mexico are going up, and at first I wasn't gonna buy the vanilla. It was like this size bottle. I'm trying to think if it was like 32 ounces maybe of vanilla. But I remember back in the day I used to get like a wine bottle size of vanilla, a tall wine bottle size, and I would spend like $7 or $8, and I think I ended up spending like $25 for this vanilla. But you do have to be aware of what type of vanilla you're buying, because some of them will say that they've got water in it, other food coloring to make it brown, and all other kinds of stuff. And what I was looking for was straight 100% pure vanilla. I don't want the one that was like mostly water based. So you have to be really careful about which one you're buying. So that was something else that I bought that I know is not in here. But then when I buy that, it lasts me for like 5+ years or more. So you are so very blessed to still have your mom. Yes, especially since I lost my dad at age of 5. So I know I'm super blessed. So thank you. You needed the getaway. Yes, I did. I still needed, I normally take off the month of January, but I stay at home and I'm doing stuff kind of like behind the scenes. I don't do a whole lot of video recording. I don't do a whole lot of order processing, things like that. But this time I decided to take a trip the month of January, which is normally my month off. And I got too many things to do for me to now decide to take off, you know, the next month and do what I need to do behind the scenes. But I enjoyed my time away. I'm just one of those people that I like to keep busy. I'm also like a night owl, so I like roaming the ship at night. The one thing, I was on the Conan's Dam ship, and it's more of a senior ship. And me being a night owl, that everything was kind of dead except for the casino by 11 p.m. And I'm one of them people that, you know, I can stay up at least to 2 or 3 listening to singing or watching movies. You know, with the change in COVID, there is no movie theater like it used to be on some ships. You could go watch movies at particular times all night. They just run movies. There was really kind of no place to go after 11 except for the casino. So I think the last buffet was from like 10:30 to 11:30. So just always ran up there, got me some hot tea or something like that before I went to bed. But I tried to stay up and stay out as long as I could, because that's just me. I don't go to bed early. And then when I got into the room, I'm reading my iPad again, you know, when I feel like maybe it's not too safe to be out here. Or I be sitting somewhere and the cleaning staff come and they doing a whole cleaning revamp, and now I'm in their way because I'm sitting in a lounge somewhere. So it was interesting to me to be on a cruise, because I've been on Royal Caribbean, which is not like a party cruise ship, prior to COVID, and they had a lot more stuff going on into the, you know, middle of the morning, say 2-3 o'clock in the morning, when stuff was shutting down, compared to things shutting down at 11. And I mean, like at 9 o'clock, it was like you could see that 90% of the people were already in bed. It was like the weirdest thing I had ever seen. But again, I haven't been on a cruise in a long time, and this was my first cruise since COVID, because I was like, the way they treated those ships at COVID, I was like, I don't know if I'm ever getting on a ship again. So that was also a challenge for me, going on a cruise. So the excursions, I think I said before that the Kona Hawaii because of the coffee plantation. However, I did enjoy Honolulu, but it's more of your big city island until you get into the outer skirts, but it's not very wide. It's about like 3 miles wide by, I don't know, it's like less than 20 miles long. It's none of the islands are like super huge. But I enjoyed the coffee plantation just because of the lady that worked there. I guess she's the owner. It's family owned. She was very informative in explaining how coffee was actually made. I had never heard that before. I am not a true coffee connoisseur. I drink Folgers decaffeinated coffee. I don't drink lattes, mochas, none of that type of stuff. I don't even like cold coffee. So I would never spend $30 for 8 ounces of coffee for me, because it's just not at my palate level. And I don't even, and the funny thing is, since my last dental appointment, I haven't even drank a whole lot of coffee, just because I feel like it colors your teeth faster than tea does. I drink tea sometimes, and then I'm all decaffeinated drinks. So they did have decaffeinated coffee. I just opted not to even go there. But I'm just not the coffee type of person that cares that much. And so but I enjoyed the information about it, and it's all like a learning thing for me, on that. We went to Paradise Cove, which was the luau place. I feel like that was just a commercialized place for them to make money. Would I do that again? No. I went to a excursion called the Fern Grotto. It was supposed to be us going to this cave, and it was just written kind of liberal about what the cave was about. And so I'm thinking that we're going to be like standing in this cave, in front of this cave. And we got there, we were on a platform that was about maybe 50 to 75 feet maybe away from the cave opening. The cave opening was pretty small, had like a trickle of water coming down that they were calling a waterfall. It took like an 18-minute boat ride to get to the cave, and then we had another 18-minute boat ride back. It was family owned, and then they were doing like hula dancing. The hula dancer of the family was really graceful. I really enjoyed her. And then they had the father and another daughter that was singing that I could have done without. So I kind of felt like I was being held hostage. And I paid big money for that. I think it was over $200 for that. And we couldn't even get to the cave. The other excursion that we went to was in Maui. We went to the tropical plantation. We bought a excursion ticket, and we thought the excursion ticket, when we got there, we saw a tram, and we said, oh, maybe we can ride the tram. And the bus driver didn't know anything about it. He said, but make sure you're back at the bus. He gave us like an hour, 10, 15 minutes or something. Well, most of the people that got off the bus, they went into the restaurant, and I wasn't interested in eating because it was another bus that had pulled up before us. And so I figured it was going to be a long wait anyway. And I had like some potato chips or something in my bag. And I had water in my bag. And so I just sat down somewhere, and I sat in a really tropical, really pretty little area. They had like a little seating area, and I just sat there, watched what I could see what I could see was very beautiful. And I just enjoyed the scenery. I talked to my daughter a little bit on the phone, and I then go back to where the tram thing is, because I found it while I was just walking around. And I said, well, maybe I don't want to do the tram. I didn't, I knew I had to be back on the bus, because now I've sat for a while. I've walked a little bit, and I've now sat for a while. I've talked to my daughter. So I decided I'm going to go just walk maybe 20 minutes in, and whatever I see, and I'm going to turn around and come back 20 minutes out, and I can make my bus. I get up to the sign, and the sign says no pedestrians, trams only. Okay. So somebody booked us on a tram to the Maui Tropical Plantation and did not buy the tram tickets that we needed. I think it was another like $25. And then by the time we all figured it out anyway, it was time to go. So why would we come here if we can't walk the grounds? So I did let the ship know that. I let Holland America know that in my review, the things that I really didn't like about the excursion. So that was probably the worst excursion, but that had the most potential, because it was, like I said, it was like going to a botanical gardens, but it was all a tropical plantation is how they called it. But it was like a tropical garden, but we couldn't go in it because we couldn't walk it, and we didn't have enough time when we figured it out to do a 40-minute tram ride, even if we wanted to spend the additional $25. So basically, they took us to a tropical plantation that had a restaurant and a gift shop, and that's all that was included, was going into the free gift shop to spend your money or the free restaurant to spend your money. So I felt like, I think we paid about $140 for that excursion, and that's what we got. Nothing. Because I didn't go in the restaurant, and I didn't buy anything out of the gift shop. We're glad you're back. Take care of yourself and enjoy life. Every day is precious. That's Remo. And then she also says she has spent $100 on a pound of coffee. So she is a good coffee connoisseur. So you let me know how it tastes, girl. How was the food on the ship? If you are a person that likes lukewarm and room temperature food, you're going to be happy. If you're someone that likes your food hot, if it should be hot and cold food should be cold, then you're going to be upset. Ice cream seemed like, to me, it was hard to keep ice cream frozen. It was always soft ice cream, and so I really didn't eat a whole lot of ice cream. Every meal that I had was lukewarm to cold. I even went into the dining room, which was included because they have specialty restaurants, but they also have a dining room. But in the dining room, you can buy specialty plates that you pay for. So on the first night, I even bought a specialty plate because I already had cold lunch food, saying maybe I just need to buy a specialty plate. So I bought a lobster and steak meal, and that came cold too. So and they automatically add an 18% gratuity and tax to whatever you order over and above. So I paid about $25 for that by the time they add the gratuity and the tax, and it still came cold. So I didn't order any more meals that were premium. I just stuck with that. I did find that it was best to eat at the pizza place. They had prepared pizzas, like they would make a pepperoni pizza or a sausage pizza or vegetable pizza or cheese pizza. You could go there and eat, and then they had those under the warm lights. Or you can order a specialty pizza, and then it was made to order. So that's kind of what I did about maybe 3 or 4 times in order to get some hot food. I ordered specialty pizza. They had a hamburger and hot dog place. If you ordered the classic, like American burger, they were cold because they pre-make them. So then I ordered one that had like a different cheese on it, and it came cold too. And I think it was because they already have the patties cooked. So the cheese, if your cheese isn't melting, it's not hot, right? So I like my hot foods hot. If something is supposed to be sizzling, I want it sizzling. If it's supposed to be frozen, I want it frozen. So they have issues with presenting food that's hot. So I personally, it was a lot of food, a lot of different choices. If you're a person that likes your food lukewarm to room temperature, you would have had a ball. My husband eats his food like that. I cook dinner and he waits like another 10-20 minutes to eat it so that it can be at room temperature. He would have had a ball because they had all different types of choices for you to select from. I don't even know if I even got a chance to take a photo of the buffet because it was always jam-packed, and I couldn't put all those people, and they had children there as well. There was a few children there. Maybe 20 or something that I saw, but it was still people on the last day of the cruise that I had never seen them on the whole cruise the whole time. So It could have been more than 20 children. But to me, I wasn't impressed with the food. And like I said, I paid $25 for something and I still wasn't impressed. So sometimes I got really tasty food and sometimes I got just okay food. Good night. Have to work tomorrow. So happy you are back, Miss T. Valley from Chicago. Good night. Thank you so much for coming. Good night, everyone. Stay safe still. Enjoy the night with you. That's my brother, Ray. Good night, Ray. And Ray's birthday. I missed his birthday party. His birthday was January 31st, but they had his party the Sunday before that, and so I just missed that by a couple of days. So I heard everybody had a great time. Liz says that's disappointing about the food. Exactly. It's like you got food everywhere, and now the people I were with, they love desserts and sweets and stuff. And they didn't even eat a lot of the desserts. They just did not look appetizing. Now, me, I am not a dessert type person. If it's not pound cake, apple pie, a cinnamon roll, something like that, I'm not interested. So I started like mostly just eating, like getting bread and butter, things like that for my breakfast. I just started just figuring out how to eat just to put something in my body over just eating food just so that I had substance. I started figuring that out. Great thing is when I got home, I'd only gained 2 pounds from when I left. So I was really happy about that, considering I ate a lot of bread because, you know, bread can be room temperature. Katie says, we've always had hot and cold food on our cruise. Lukewarm food would be disappointing, yes. And I had never, like, I don't know if this is a new thing on cruises or if it's because we were in the sewing group. And I'm almost thinking it's because we were in the sewing group that we didn't have an assigned dinner time. We didn't have an assigned dinner table like you would normally have. And then you meet other people at the table and you kind of converse at meals and stuff like that. Food came out a lot hotter back then on the previous cruises I'd been on. So I do know that the quilters were not assigned a dinner time. However, no matter what time I ate, because since we didn't have a dinner time, some days I ate when they first opened at 5:30. Sometimes I ate at 7:15 after the 6 o'clock show. So it didn't matter when I ate in the dining room. It was going to be lukewarm to cold. I never got hot food, not even soups. And then I got tired of eating in the buffet because in the buffet, the lines can be long and then people act like they don't have to get in line, that they can just jump the line. So they'll go up to the front in front of the person who's ordering, acting like they don't know that the line is like 2 counters back almost. So that was another issue. So every once in a while, I just took my little self to the dining room because I got tired of the rat race of eating at the buffet, because you have, after you get your food, then you got to find a place to sit. Sometimes there were seats, sometimes there were not. Sometimes I had to go see if I could sit with somebody, you know, and it just got old for me. When I go to the dining room, they place me at a seat, say, do you mind sitting with other people? I go, no, I don't have to ask. They've done all the work for me. So at times I went into the dining room on my own just because of that. And then I did take one set of photos. No, not one set. I took photos one time. I didn't let them take another picture of me entering, leaving. Every time we went to port, they had the little port sign up there where you're in this place, and they had pictures. And then every night on the ship, they had like casual photo night, and then they had like dressy photo night. So I just picked one. I picked one day. Even though I got dressy on 3 occasions, I only took pictures one day. So this is the picture here that I put up on my Facebook page. I took this one. This guy here, he was the best photographer on the ship. So they had like a 5 photo package where you paid $110 for 5 photos. So I bought 3 of his photos. because he was the best. And then I just bought one of the other two just to have the other background. So I bought 3 of those with the silver backdrop. This guy here didn't understand lighting. You can see where my face, the shadow is right on my face, and he took that photo right on my face. And then this one, that was the best photo that he took, okay? And then this one, I didn't like this because the white sofa, the lounger, had some imperfections in it. And when I got the close-up photos, you could really see the imperfections in the lounger. But I wanted to get a picture with the whole dress. So those were the pictures that I actually bought. Hi, Gloria Jackson. Thank you so much. Hi, Helen Finaldi. Bonita says, love your dress. Thank you. That dress I bought at Macy's, and then everything else I took was just stuff that I had in my wardrobe. But I did buy that dress. That's why I took a picture in that one, since it was like my newest one. I took a picture in that one to buy the photos from. So the other stuff I took was just dresses that I had already. Thank you. People are saying beautiful photos. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, whenever I go on a cruise, I try to buy at least the minimal package. And then when you buy that, they give you the digital prints, and then I can go print what I want after that. So that's why I did that. But I just wanted to have one of the dressy nights that I did where so I could have photos. But I never go on there intending to buy like a gazillion photos. No, that's not going to happen. So I think that's it. We're after 10. I think Jersey's coming over tonight. I think my daughter don't had her about 3-4 weeks now almost in a row, because I didn't get her before I left. I normally give her like an hour or two here and there where she can do some stuff. So she was going to bring Jersey over tonight. So she should be here in a little bit. I thought she said she was going to come at 9:30. That's why I was wasting time to see if she came at 10. But she's not here yet. So I was going to let y'all see little Jersey, honey. She is too funny now. She's trying to move around. She's in a walker. And she's into everything now. And she's trying to walk on her own. But she still ain't there yet. But when she get in that walker, she can be a little terror getting everything. So, but yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and end here, guys. Thank you all so much for coming to hear about my Hawaii experience. And again, if I missed something, you can put it in the comments and I'll try to answer it down in the comments once this video upload. I will see you all Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for 1 hour chat. And we'll be going over all of the different projects and things. And I'll try to remember, because I've been trying to do this like for 2 months now, to get these Facebook groups set up. But that's some of the stuff I need to do at my desktop. So that's the delay, because I haven't been sitting at my desktop. I know some people that had joined the retreat late. I know you've paid your payments. I haven't gone through all of that yet. I have put a little star, so when I search my emails, it'll pop up for me. So I will be getting into all of that. But basically, I was just catching up on sleep the last few days. So that's all I've been doing. That's why I put down Monday as my official return back to the Teaquilts business. Because I knew I was going to be sleeping a lot. So, well, that's going to be it, guys. You all stay blessed. Be safe. Quilt out. See you Wednesday. Bye.